Mix Design is your one-stop shop for custom clothing with a personal touch. At Mix Design, we can help you tell your story through your wardrobe. Your imagination on a hat, shirt, pullover, or nearly anything wearable. And while you're picking out some custom clothing, check out the one-of-a-kind handmade soaps from the Bobcat Soap Company. Find us on Facebook and let us create custom swag just for you at Mix Design.
Hawg Fanatics. We at Inside The Hawg Pen are thrilled to announce that SeatGeek is now a sponsor. As brand ambassadors, we're excited to share SeatGeek as a ticket app that simplifies the ticket buying process for all your favorite events. They provide a 0 to 10 score for each ticket, with green indicating a good deal and red indicating a not-so-good deal. As a special offer, Hawg Fanatics can get $20 off their first ticket purchase by using the code Inside Hawg Pen. Check out our socials for the link, and remember to use the code Inside Hawg Pen.
This is where the fun begins. What is up, everybody?
But we've seen this movie before.
What's Sam Pittman known for?
I don't know.
Exactly. Is the Arkansas athletic program cursed? You never know what the loudest mouth on the fan base and his Wild Band of Misfits are going to say.
I have a river of Kool-Aid for basketball.
It's time to step inside the Hawg Pen with your host, Razorback Zach and Marcus MC Carlton.
Jeez, that was abrupt.
Wow. Way to break the board there, D. What's up, everybody? Welcome into an all-new episode of Inside the Hawg Pen. I am your host, as always, from the Central Arkansas Hawg Pen, Razorback Zach, alongside my Wild Band of Misfits. We did not come alone this week. But before we get to our special guest, let's get to our regularly scheduled peeps from the NEA. The man, the myth, the legend, and the glue that holds the whole damn thing together. Marcus MC Carlton, and just up the street from the Central Arkansas Hawg Pen is D-Mad, and we've also got a wise man with us. Boys, what's up?
How's it going, man?
It's going. Let's just go there. D-Mad, what's going on, man?
I've got MC marked down as absent from last week. We're gonna have to talk about that later.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, to each his own, I guess.
I did have a good reason, though. So
he gets a bye because I was out for a couple of weeks myself, so it's fine. We've got a huge guest to talk about Razorback baseball postseason. But before we get to that, we have a huge announcement. For the 5th year, we are back as the official MC of the 2025 Little Oktoberfest. That is coming up October 11th, Saturday, October 11th, 6 p.m., and it's a new location. It's in the Argenta Plaza in North Little Rock. So the entire, and I'm going to call my shot now, the entire ITHP staff will be there, minus the new father down here. He gets a pass.
yeah, he gets a pass for that one.
He gets a pass.
That was the subject of conversation today, by the way.
Yeah, he gets a pass on it. He gets maternity leave. But Saturday, October 11th, 6 p.m., we're going to have you all updated with everything going on in college football because we're going to be in the thick of it. Not to mention Arkansas travels to Knoxville that day to take on Tennessee Volunteers. Okay, so before we get to the guest, have y'all ever been to a chiropractor before?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Dude, I didn't realize how jacked up my
I swear by
back was. Holy cow. Like, it snapped, crackled, and popped, dude.
Oh, yeah.
But, so if y'all see me moving around, that's why.
Drink lots of water, man.
Right? All right. What do y'all say we get into this and bring in our special guest? He has been a good friend of the show, been on before, but more importantly, he is former Arkansas Razorback Chris Lanzilli. Chris, what's up, man? Welcome back to the Hawg Pen.
Thanks for having me. I'm becoming a regular here.
I know.
We like it, man. We like it.
First time you've gotten all the entire staff.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good to be here, guys. What do we got tonight?
So I wanted to break this ice real quick before I let these two hooligans over here kind of run loose. Give me your thoughts on the way the regular season ended for the Hogs.
You'll have to refresh my memory. I can't remember what yesterday was. How'd the season end? Just the SEC tournament, or what are you talking about?
You swept these guys.
Yeah.
And then you took 2 out of 3 against Tennessee, and then you got eliminated at one and done in Hoover.
Yeah, I mean, those are obviously 2 powerhouse teams and 2 teams that have. I don't know if I assume Tennessee's been number 1 at some point this year, but obviously Texas was number 1 after they took it from us. So 2 teams that are just powerhouses, and to sweep Texas and take a series from Tennessee is awesome. I mean, we did it at home, and I feel like SEC teams have just been winning at home this year. But as far as the SEC tournament went, I don't know. I feel like since 21, the Hogs haven't really showed out in the SEC tournament. Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, I know they won it in 21, right?
Yeah. 21 was the year that they won it, beat Tennessee in the finals at Hoover after making that run through. And then, since then, I went last year. I went in 2024 to the last double elimination tournament, and we were 0-2 in barbecue, as Phil Elson likes to say, So
I got to be honest, like, I'm sure DVH feels the same way, and everybody feels the same way with it. You don't. Like, of course, in terms of the pitching changes that you're doing, you're watching pitch counts and you're keeping everybody healthy. You want to do that, but you want to. This is as close to regional environments. I mean, you're technically playoffs here. You're playing it under a little bit of pressure, and this is where you want to kind of show out a little bit. And I'm sure DVH was a little bit more disappointed than he showed, and. But it's not. It's not. I don't think it's a worry headed into the regional. I think they're going to do all right. I mean, I see people on Twitter. I mentioned people on Twitter last time I came on, but I see people on Twitter now saying like, "Oh, we're screwed with all these teams that are in our regional and everything."
Oh, and we're gonna get to that.
Yeah, all right. I'll hold off on that, but I just I think that's funny. It's expected. I mean, they could say what they want. Freedom of speech.
Chris, when it comes to the SEC, tournament, obviously you've played in it. What does it hold any significance to the team, or is this kind of one of those where it's like, hey, we're a lock for the postseason? I mean, what's the mentality of the team and going into the SEC tournament in regards from the regular season, knowing you're a lock, knowing you're going to host, and having to play in this tournament?
Yeah, I mean. It's very hard to not have that in your mind where it's like you are a lock. You're hosting a regional. You're hosting super regional. It's just obviously not good to like kind of take competition off because it just starts bad habits. But I can't say it's not in the back of your mind. I think DVH would prefer players to play their asses off and he'll make his decisions, limiting pitch counts and like I said, trying to keep guys healthy. But it definitely is, and especially watching them. Like I didn't really pay any mind to the SEC. I didn't even really watch it just because I was like, these guys are already in. I'm going to be at their regional next weekend. So it's unfortunately not quite as important as it should be, but it is what it is.
I will say this as a fan that got to go. I went in 2024 to the whole tournament. Stayed the whole time. Even after Arkansas lost, we stayed the rest of the week. I went to Championship Sunday and everything. I'm going back because I just loved
the environment of, because if you're going to the SEC tournament, you're getting to see some of the best baseball in the country, and you've got everybody converged right there in Hoover. So even like after Arkansas got beat, I still got to watch Tennessee and Texas A&M and LSU and all these other elite teams that there's no other way I'm going to get to see them other than going to Hoover. So I'm going back. I don't know how I'm going to make it work, but I'm going to make it work that I go back to Hoover.
I like that take. I like that. I like the environments there. I don't care whose fan it is. I think that people that are passionate about college baseball, I think it's a pretty damn cool thing.
Yeah. And the all the stuff they do for the fans, they had like the kid zone and everything. I had my family with me. You go inside and they've got all these blow ups and games and everything for these kids. And then they've got, big screens bigger than the wall of your house with the game on. So, I mean, you can still go in there. You can have an adult beverage while your kid's out there running all of his energy off. And, it's a great setup, man. And like I said, I will be going back. And if the Hogs are still, if they make it all the way to Sunday, then that's just a bonus for me as a fan. And with the way the tournament's set up now, with it being all single elimination, it really sets up like a 3-game series if you're one of the top 4 seeds, because you're either going to play Thursday, Friday, or Thursday, Saturday, and Sunday, or Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So it's not near the grind that it once was with the double elimination and then back to single and, all the different steps.
I'm curious. So with the single elimination now, obviously, like some people have to, or maybe not have to, but would prefer to fly. I mean, how does that work out? You have to stay the rest of the tournament, or
I guess I don't know. I don't know. I mean, but it's been, I kind of like the different format. I felt like it had a smoother flow to it this year. And you're not, if you are one of these teams that plays early and you go on a run, I don't feel like you're burning through the amount of pitching that you once did when it was double elimination.
I think, going off of that, it kind of helps with the format. If you're one of those teams that's locked up at least a seed in the NCAA tournament, I mean, you can just go, you don't even have to like work as hard to, protect your seed. You can get one game in, win, and then you're out. I mean, I know the players aren't thinking about this, but when it comes to the teams that are still working to get into the NCAA tournament, like Ole Miss did the year that we sorry, Chris, didn't mean to bring that one up, but the year Ole Miss barely made it, they did a lot of work in the SEC tournament, and the format is more geared towards like people being able to work into the tournament and then work themselves out of the tournament now, especially with staying fresh. I 100% think that all the pitchers that we didn't pitch this last weekend and they're getting extra rest is nothing but good for us. Look what happened whenever DVH took that midweek series off and just let everybody rest. I think what we do, guys, it was after that 3 games skid.
Oh, Jesus.
The 3-series skid. It was. I think Chris was on right before we came out of that.
Yeah.
MC, can we put an all call out for a new executive producer? Can I do that? I mean,
Davis is downstairs, man. I could go get him. So
hey, I'll take him because no.
Chris, what I'm talking about is, you remember? I think it was one of the last times you were on. We were talking about we were in the middle of the skid of the couple of series where we lost, and I was like, I don't care if we lose this next series, as long as we bounce back and learn from it. And guess what, boys? They bounced back and learned from it. Horns down.
Wait. Hold on. I'm a realist. I'm not a defeatist. I'm a realist. Did they learn from it? Because they still struggled a little bit.
So I'm looking up on the schedule when that was. That was in the midst of the Georgia, Texas A&M, and Florida series. That was the 3 series that they lost. And then the midweek game that got canceled was Missouri State, and then they come back out of that and sweep Texas.
Okay, but you also got swept and run ruled by LSU.
They didn't get swept by LSU.
They didn't get swept. They took game 3.
Okay.
They lost the first game in walk-off fashion, 5-4. Game 2 was when they got run ruled in 7, and then game 3 they won 7-4.
there's just voodoo down there in
There is.
Baton
Yeah,
Rouge.
But okay, but as a realist though, not as a defeatist, D, did they actually learn from it?
Yes. Hey, Chris, I want to ask you this. Did you ever hear about the rally possum when playing against LSU?
Yeah, I saw that video when the guy grabbed the possum off.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about
no,
that.
was that the raccoon? What am I thinking of?
That was the raccoon in the
Yeah.
Hawg
One
Never
was
mind,
at
I might
Baum,
be
and
wrong.
then they had one that they had a possum that got on the field down at Alex Box.
So is that
And-
what that was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Arkansas, I think it was like either bottom 8 or bottom 9, and Arkansas was about to close out the series or something, and the possum ran across the field, and LSU was able to turn around and win the series after the possum ran onto the field. So they started calling it the rally possum. Ever since that game, us playing down in Baton Rouge has not ended well.
So that was, I'm looking that up right now. That was in
I want to say it was
2016.
like 2012. Oh,
It was 2016 when it happened.
But who has
but
it gone well for there? Like I'd love to see the stats on that. You know what I mean? Like who has it gone well for in Baum Walker? You know, it's just tough.
Right. Exactly. So what's your take on the seed, man, and the regional bracket with, you got 3 40-win teams in there, and then North Dakota State.
Yeah, that's crazy that there's 341 teams. But I mean, it's just you've been playing. This is an insane schedule that they've been playing. Like nothing can top what they've been prepared for, what they've been preparing with. And so I think that put anybody outside of the SEC in their regional. That's a very optimistic way to look at it. I get it. I should be a realist a little bit more. I didn't really take a look too much at these teams, but it's just I looked at them for their kind of like value in terms of the name brand of their school, and
right.
and what they generally are at baseball. And these schools are usually solid. I don't know specific about like the in-depths on their team, but like you said, they've all 2 or 3 of them have had 41 seasons.
Yeah.
Was it 3?
And then there's 3 counting Arkansas. There's 3 40-win teams in the bracket. I was trying to look at North Dakota State to see what their record was, and I haven't got to it yet.
Yeah.
But the other, Creighton and Kansas, both are like, they have 41, 42 wins each.
Yeah. So they should be good teams. But I mean, how many wins would Arkansas have if they played in their conferences? First of all, second of all,
exactly.
I'm kind of mad. You guys aren't going to agree with me because
I got North Dakota State's record right here.
Oh, what do they got?
They're 20-32.
But they rallied to win their conference tournament, so they were a bid stealer.
Yeah,
they were a bid stealer.
They're 13-15 in conference.
Yeah. So they just got hot at the right time.
That is insane. I'm just plugging my phone in, gentlemen.
Yeah, so they just made a roll, man. They come into their conference tournament as a lower seed and just worked their way through it and took care of business. So it was they're kind of a fish out of water. I'm really surprised that Little Rock got sent to Alex Box instead of coming to Fayetteville.
I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of hoping they were coming to Fayetteville.
Yeah.
Why do you hope for that?
I mean, it's a team that I don't think Little Rock has a whole lot of just awesome fans. Most of Little Rock fans are also Razorback fans. They are also a part of the University of Arkansas system, and they can kind of just benefit more from coming to Fayetteville than Baton Rouge. I think.
But they're called regionals for a reason. Now,
Well, North Dakota State's pretty far away too.
Yeah.
Well, okay, but so was NJIT a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And what was the other one we adopted? The one out of Connecticut.
You guys had Northeastern,
Central Connecticut.
Central
you had Central Connecticut. You guys had Northeastern a couple of years ago too.
Yeah.
That's wild. That's up by me. That's where I had my Tommy John surgery. We're
Really?
lucky we didn't get them in our. Yeah, we're lucky we didn't get them in our bracket. They're sneaky, kind of unreal.
Hey, if you guys got a question or a comment for Chris or for any one of us, leave it in the Cam Productions live fan feedback on Facebook and YouTube. And I think we're live on Twitter too, aren't we, D?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I got a question for you, Chris, and it involves your former team, the Wake Forest Demon Deacons, I think it is. They're matched up in the Knoxville regional. I'm gonna I'm gonna throw it out there right now, and we can talk about it or we don't. I don't think Tennessee comes out of that regional. I don't know who comes out of it. I don't think Tennessee's winning it. I really don't. But how do you feel about Wake Forest's chance over there in Knoxville?
It's just unfortunately for Wake, I didn't follow them too much this year, but they just I don't think they pitch it as well as they usually do. Even when I was there, we had everybody threw 95. We had a guy that threw 100. Like the pitching lab is a real thing, and they develop guys there pretty good. They recruit pretty good, but I haven't seen anybody on the team. I haven't seen any depth in terms of pitching, and the hitters seem to be all right, but they just don't seem to be that dominant team that they have been in past years. Also, I want to see Arkansas, Tennessee, super regional. I wouldn't mind if it was Wake, but Arkansas, Tennessee would be where the hype's at. That would be literally growing the game.
Yeah.
I mean, there would be so many people there.
Oh yeah, I think attendance records would fall if that ends up being the super regional.
Well, but if you guys look, any team, I think, any team that gets to Omaha has to go through the SEC.
Yeah.
Has to go whether it's Arkansas, whether it's Tennessee, whether LSU, who's the other one? Georgia's
up there. Texas is up there.
Auburn. Yeah, the hell with Texas.
Auburn. Yeah, Auburn surprised me with how high I think they were the number 4 overall. And I was a little bit surprised by that. I mean, I knew they were pretty good, but I didn't realize that they were going to end up a top 5 seed. I'll tell you who else has come on here at the end of the season too. Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's playing really good right now.
They look scary in that championship game Sunday.
Yeah, they look pretty good.
Is another team that Arkansas swept this year.
My mic cracking up. It's sounding weird.
Yeah, a little bit, buddy.
A little bit. Yeah, it's cracking a little bit.
Do you mind if I get out and then come back in?
No,
it's not making
man.
noise. I think I should. I should probably leave right now. I don't know. It's being inconsistent. What should I do here? You guys are tech guys.
Just go ahead and close it out, and then come back in. We'll bring you back in.
Well, yeah, we'll vamp.
While he's getting his thing reset, we can look at a couple of Carolyn's comments. I got to look at one because I'm not sure who she's calling out here. Which one is she calling me out, or is it you, Zach?
It sounds like Zach.
It's me. You see the big Z at the end of that?
Oh, I see it now. Yeah.
And
I'm in my glasses tonight, man. I'm a little off.
Wait a minute. We ain't even played the regional yet. So how
are we looking?
We ain't even played the regional yet. How am I supposed to tell Chris I was so far off the wagon that I got to start eating my biscuit now?
I mean, you do have a habit of when things go bad, you just fall off the wagon.
Season's over.
I don't fall off the wagon. I use reverse psychology because guess what happened? And I did not say it. I never said it during baseball. I never said season's over during baseball.
All right.
I'll keep my comments to myself.
We got
Chris, you there,
Chris
buddy?
Back.
It's acting up still, but I'm gonna mute it when I can. I'm so sorry. I know we're live right now, but
it's all good, man.
Hey,
we roll with it,
what
man.
happens on live stays on live.
Yeah,
Just
we
like
roll
terrible.
with it. We make it work, you know?
Things that happen on live. No, I mean, but at the same time, I mean, going off of the last 2 years, you can't tell me that everybody's on the edge of their seats, sitting on pins and needles, going, okay, when's Arkansas going to choke?
I mean, you have some that are waiting for the other shoe to drop, so to speak. To me, hey, it's a new year, man. Let's come in. You don't let last year beat you again. So,
and a lot of the team wasn't on that team last year too.
That's true too.
And
yeah.
There's a whole new thing with this team. Vahiva revamped his swing all summer, and Cajillo has been just pretty consistent all year. I'm just thinking about this. This 3-game series is basically what this is going to turn into. Chris, how does a team prepare for a regional where you could play 3 different teams in in like 3 days or 4 days?
Yeah, it's kind of more just like from what I remember, it was kind of just like a more of a wing it type thing. Like obviously for just regular weekend where you're playing the same team, it's you're preparing for that team, you're preparing for the 3 starters, but with this, you're just winging it kind of. You do a small video session before the games and everything, and prepare the best you can. But you kind of just go out and play baseball, and kind of let your preparation throughout the year kind of show for what you're about to do. And yeah, that's just kind of how it goes. It all feels so fast, and it feels like you're just. I don't know, it almost feels like a little tournament. It is a little tournament. Is
it hard to enjoy the moment sometimes when that's happening? Because it's you have so much going on at one time. It's hard to just kind of sit there and kind of look around and say, "Man, we made it this far." Especially in the
Omaha. Yeah, it happens a little fast, yeah. But in my experience, the last regional, the only regional I was in was Oklahoma State, so that one wasn't that hard to enjoy the moment. It was a pretty fun one. So I lucked out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, speaking of that regional, sorry, MC, how far did Jalen Battles hit that ball?
He hit it pretty far. Unfortunately, the furthest ball of the game, I think, was a kid. I'm going to blank on his name, but he was a pitcher and a hitter. His name was Nolan something. Mm-hmm. He was a second rounder or so, but he had some of the most juice I've ever seen. But Jalen was a bomb too.
Yeah, there were definitely some bombs being hit in that regional, and then to have Hagan end the big threat the way he did by striking out Riggio. I mean, there's so many moments in that region that are just like knife to the heart. You feel like it was the dagger. Because I felt like because I think they had bases loaded or 2 on and Riggio at the plate, and Hagan steps up and just goes right at him and mows him down. I mean, that was one of those that you felt like at that point it's like, okay, the threat's done. We're gonna take this now.
Yeah, that was kind of like a story for Hagan where he kind of like came up he became who he was. We always knew he had that talent in him, but. Because in the fall, he was probably the best pitcher. But he kind of became who he was in that regional, and he kind of showed what he could do, and that was pretty awesome with him. That was electric. There were so many electric times in that regional and super regional and everything.
As a 19-year-old getting onto the biggest stage possible, I mean, yeah.
So what do you see that Arkansas needs to do? I mean, do they just need to come out and play their game in this regional this weekend to take care of business?
I mean, now from like a fan perspective, they just need to be the hot team. You know what I mean? Like, you know how it goes every year. The hot team's going to carry on, and there's different levels to it in the postseason, but you just got to be the hot team. It's just got to be the right timing.
All right. So, with that being said, we're going to take a break, catch our breath. We're going to come back with more for former Arkansas Razorback Chris Lanzilli. You're listening to Inside the Hawg Pen. Back right after this.
Mix Design is your one-stop shop for custom clothing with a personal touch. At Mix Design, we can help you tell your story through your wardrobe. Your imagination on a hat, shirt, pullover, or nearly anything wearable. And while you're picking out some custom clothing, check out the one-of-a-kind handmade soaps from the Bobcat Soap Company. Find us on Facebook and let us create custom swag just for you at Mix Design.
Hey, Hawg Fanatics! We at Inside The Hawg Pen are thrilled to announce that SeatGeek is now a sponsor. As brand ambassadors, we're excited to share SeatGeek as a ticket app that simplifies the ticket buying process for all your favorite events. They provide a 0 to 10 score for each ticket, with green indicating a good deal and red indicating a not-so-good deal. As a special offer, Hawg Fanatics can get $20 off their first ticket purchase by using the code Inside Hawg Pen. Check out our socials for the link, and remember to use the code Inside Hawg Pen.
Attention Razorback fans and local businesses. Are you ready to reach the most passionate Arkansas sports fans out there? Introducing Inside the Hawg Pen, not your normal Razorback talk show. We're fans first and don't try to hide it. No agendas, no propaganda. At Inside the Hawg Pen, we call it like we see it. And now we're looking for sponsors to join the team. This is your chance to put your brand in front of thousands of loyal Razorback fans who live and breathe Arkansas sports. From small businesses to major brands, we have sponsorship packages tailored just for you. So let's grow together and make Inside the Hawg Pen bigger and better. Don't miss out. Call 501-416-4331 or email us today at insidethehogpen@gmail.com and become a proud sponsor of Inside the Hawg Pen.
It's time to step back inside the Hawg Pen to the Meeks Design Studios.
All right, welcome back to Inside the Hawg Pen. Let's see if we got our audio back. Chris, we got you, buddy?
I sound any better?
Hi, there we
Oh,
is.
yeah.
Much
There you
better.
go.
Much better. Gotta love technology. No, okay. So when you have this path to Omaha that Arkansas does, obviously you've got to play North Dakota State, Kansas, and who's the other one in our regional?
Creighton.
Creighton. I forgot about them. And then obviously you're matched up with Tennessee in the Super
Most
Regional.
likely. Most likely, we're not going to put Tennessee out there just yet. But
Most likely.
Most
okay,
likely.
Let me rephrase it. You're matched up with the Knoxville Regional.
There you go. There you go.
What is Arkansas's chances, in your opinion? You know, because you've played the game, you've been on that field, you know that what kind of pressure they're under. What kind of chances do you give the Hogs to get to Omaha?
I mean, you always got to think about how kind of clutch and just ready Tony Vitello's teams always are.
Yeah.
If we do run into them. So there's always that threat. I mean, I'm not going to give Arkansas a 100% chance at making Omaha, but this is a strong team offensively, defensively, pitching, in every way. It just is a matter of, like I said, like, are they going to be hot or are they just going to, roll over and everybody's just going to get cold at once? And in past, everybody just kind of getting cold. So we haven't had that. I think we were hot in 22 a little bit.
Yeah.
I think Oklahoma and Ole Miss were a little more hot than us. Like I said, there's levels to it. But I don't think there's anything too technical to it. I think it's just a matter of, like, are you playing well or are you not? This is the time of the year where you're going to want to play well. I do want to see this Tennessee-Arkansas matchup, though, because I do favor Arkansas, especially at home. We've done it before this season, obviously. So let's have it again. Let's F it. Let's have it.
It's like Ric Flair, the wrestler, said, to be the man, you got to beat the man. And they're the defending champs right now. So, I mean, I guess you could say they're the man.
That's right. I mean, you got to give Vitello his credit. I know him and Van Horn had their on-field situation a few years ago, and that was pretty hyped up. But
Yeah.
The guy's pretty special. I think Van Horn probably does say the same thing whenever he's in interviews. And he's got some great talent over there.
I think they're both just, fierce competitors, and, they put everything they have into it. And sometimes that just boils over like it did. But I mean, they seem to have buried the hatchet, at least publicly, with all that. And I mean, I think it's just, it's a, kind of a friendly rivalry, because I know, I remember growing up as a kid, and then, even now, like, when me and my boys get together, I mean, that's who you want to beat. I mean, if you have somebody you respect and somebody that, you're maybe pretty friendly with, I mean, it's always a little bit sweeter to beat them than it is with, with somebody that you don't respect, at least to me anyway.
Yeah, you also get two of the most competitive guys ever.
Yeah.
I think that contributes to it a lot. And they will go to, not extreme. They're probably, at least DVH is definitely a good guy, good person. I don't know Vitello, but I assume he's a decent enough dude. But they'll go to pretty extremes to get the W, and they
Absolutely.
will,
Yeah.
how fierce they are about it.
I think there's a lot of similarities between the two as well because I know when DVH was pretty young into his Arkansas tenure, he was a fiery guy too.
Yeah.
He got thrown out of a lot of games there for a while. His
Yeah.
team would never talk, but that was before, bat flipping and all that good stuff. Nope. I'm not going to go down that road. I'm not going to go down that road. We're not going to talk about pitchers throwing at batters' heads. We're not going to talk about it.
I want to hear something.
But, DVH was really fiery. I mean, he had that catcher, it goes viral every now and then. The guy that faked getting hit and he threw or his pointed his bat at the umpire.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, I think DVH has just kind of calmed down. And, I think they kind of realized that, Tony's probably going to calm down. And, for the fact that Tennessee is the team they are and they are the players that they are, they didn't really talk a whole lot in Fayetteville. Like, even if they're losing, they're still jabbing. But when they were in Fayetteville, they kind of calmed it down this year.
At least they weren't Texas, though, when you're down, 8 runs? And you get walked and you're going, I mean – what a joke! At least they're not that.
That was the freshman center fielder for Texas that was having all the antics, wasn't it?
Yeah,
that's so embarrassing.
He wasn't even. He walked. He was like,
yeah. And he'll look back and regret that. He'll look back and be like, "I was such an idiot." But I mean, you can't act like that, especially as a freshman. Especially you're getting beat. You're about to get swept. You're not a great year. I know he's a football player. So congratulations, but. I mean, it's just kind of an embarrassing moment.
Well, and the Hawg Pen just pretty much wore him out.
Money.
Yeah. The Hawg Pen wore him out to the point where they got in his head so much that he was telling people to meet him in the parking lot after the game. So they completely got in his head.
That was epic, by the way.
Good. That's how it should be. I mean, that's what the Hawg Pen's for, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Exactly what it's for.
Since you mentioned that,
oh Lord. Are we going to have the debate?
Should we? I mean, we've got Chris here.
Talk about it.
So there was and again, you see all this stuff on Twitter and on social media all the time, Chris. If it's not one thing, it's another. So another fan, we'll just put it as another fan, comes out and says that we need to remove everybody from the Hawg Pen because it was made strictly for students. Do you agree or disagree with that? Okay.
I saw, I don't know who specifically you're talking about, but I saw the whole thing on Twitter. And it's funny that I'm going to sound like such a nerd for saying this, but I find it so cool that people are arguing about that because what school is arguing about who gets to get in the stadium? I mean, we're begging people at other schools to get in the stadium. Yeah. So here's the deal. If I'm I don't know who makes these decisions. Is it Yurachek that makes these decisions? But if I'm Hunter Yurachek, I'm expanding the stadium and I'm saying, all right, here's your student section. This is going to be a cool area. You guys better come do a bunch of promotions for this, that. We'll have the Hawg Pen as well. We'll have areas for everybody. We'll expand here and everybody will be able to get in.
Well, so but here's the problem. Chris. Here's the problem with that. You can't fill the student section at Razorback Stadium for football. You can't do it for basketball. What makes them think they're going to do it for baseball? They've got a student section, but they want to gripe and complain.
Here's the solution to the non-existent problem. Have a student line, have an adult line, or everybody else line. Just have both lines.
Then it divulged. Well, here's the other thing. Then it divulged into everybody camping out, 3-4 days before the game is even started.
I mean, to me, that's cool. I mean, where else in the country do you have fans that are so diehard, they're going to camp out for days ahead for a baseball game? I remember, I guess it would have been the 21 regional against Nebraska. I remember seeing it on TV that the instant the game was over, people were leaving the stadium and going and getting right back in line for the Hawg Pen for the next game in 24 hours. I mean, that's just so cool to me. Why mess with it?
I think there's a lot to capitalize on here, and I don't know which way it should go because I don't know the total history of it, but I think it's sick that they're fighting on Twitter over who's getting into the stadium. Honestly, I will mention the guy. You have to help me with this. I won't even mention his name, but the guy that was in the middle of it, the guy that was on video saying,
Yeah.
blah, blah, he came to Omaha and started a happy birthday chant with thousands of fans to me. So I don't know. He could tweet something absurd, and I will look like an idiot for backing. I back him right now. I'll have his back. You know how you support people, and then they tweet something extremely offensive or something.
Yeah.
But no, I'm sure he's a good man. And I met him at the stadium actually when I went against South Carolina on a Sunday. And he was a really good dude. So, that's awesome. Keep doing it.
Well, and he ended up coming back. That video that got posted of him, he ended up coming back and saying, okay, look, this is video from 2021. We came, me and the person that I got into it with, we come back the next day, buried the hatchet, did some, celebratory shots to kind of, celebrate putting the hatchet in the ground and everything. It was kind of blown out of proportion a little bit because it was an old video and those, the people involved had all come to peace with it, so, it just kind of got blown out of proportion a little bit.
This is what happens.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Chris.
It made him look a little, like in a good way, a little nuts. And as a player, I want nuts fans to be in the Hawg Pen.
Yes.
I want those people to get in that left fielder's head. I don't care if he's a big football player and he thinks he's going to meet somebody in the parking lot. It ain't going to happen. We're just going to get in your head.
Well, here's the thing, okay? And I'll even use myself as an example, and I will open myself up for every kind of joke there, Dylan. During the hog call, I'm the louder guy. So if you hear somebody screaming louder, that's me. That's how I celebrate my fandom.
Yeah.
It pisses everybody off. But I don't care. I don't care. Because we're all Razorback fans.
Yeah.
Well, except for Ole Miss and Red Wolf up here. Did I say that out loud?
Chris, if you didn't know that, this guy above me here, he works for A-State.
Turncoat.
His favorite football team besides Arkansas is Ole Miss.
Okay.
And his favorite football coach is Ole Miss.
I like Lane Kiffin
at Ole Miss.
I like Lane
Kiffin. His favorite athletic director is at Ole Miss.
Guess where he's going to be? Guess where he's going to be during the Arkansas State game in the state of Mississippi.
That's why I can't come to that game because I have a wedding to go to of all places in Oxford.
Who does Ole Miss play that day, MC?
I don't even know. I think they're on the road.
Well, we just know that MC would die before he'd show up in Razorback gear at an A-State game.
Okay, look, I gotta keep my paycheck, man. I mean, come on.
So you're just not going to go to the regional at Ole Miss?
Yeah. Well, the A-State football game, I'm not even getting anywhere near it. But my son's going to be playing football that day anyway. So
yeah. Wait, I thought were you saying you were going for the regional weekend, or I was kind of behind on that?
No, we kind of moved over to football for a second.
No, we switched gears over to football season. They were trying to be all snarky and throw darts at me, and it kind of backfired.
That doesn't sound like me.
No pun.
Jackson darts? Is that what you said?
Yeah, you're throwing darts at
darts. Me. Yeah. See the Ole Miss.
Yeah, like Ted Lasso, you're throwing darts at me.
I know, like Jackson Dart. You mean like Beavis said?
I'm just gonna stop talking. I'm just gonna stop talking.
So back to baseball.
Yeah, back to baseball.
Inside the Hawg Pen.
So we were kind of talking about this the other day. Outside of Arkansas, who's going to make the most noise in this tournament? Who do you think? Because I'm kind of leaning towards Vandy, and that's an obvious pick right now because they're the number 1 overall seed. But I've not seen a team that's played better than them right now.
Am I having problems again? I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. I was just I don't know if you didn't hear me, but who do you think outside of Arkansas? Because we all think Arkansas is going to go, except for Zach. Who do you think is going to make the most noise, make the biggest impact in the tournament?
So I roll with my ACC teams because that's the conference I played in forever. So I don't think it was quite as strong of a conference this year. That's what I root for most years. So I'm going for I think probably UNC has the best chance.
Yeah.
Georgia Tech maybe. None of them have the depth and the star power, but that's who I'm rooting for, and that's who I'm going to be biased towards. Realistically, if Arkansas is not the one, obviously those teams that have hovered around the top 5 all year. Besides Texas, I'm not a big fan. I don't know why. I think they're always just like a fluke in every sport. Not even being like this, but just like being honest and being an honest and unbiased reporter. I don't think they're very good at just being at finishing. I'm speaking as an Arkansas fan too, so I mean, what do I know? But
see, that's the impact that Arkansas had on you. We only had you for 1 year, but we got you to hating Texas right off the bat, man. So that you're forever a Hog now. So
as long as that sticks, dude, hey, that's all right by me.
It honestly seems like everybody that goes to school there or is like from the area is pretty stuck up and it's almost like an Ole Miss type,
100%.
Yes.
Wow. Shots fired.
Chris, I went to so last year I went to the Texas versus Florida game. My brother's fiance is a graduate of both schools. And so everybody wanted to come down that weekend to meet the families. So my brother wanted to go to the game, and so did his fiance. So we went to the game. Mind you, I'm not wearing neither Texas nor Florida colors. I'm wearing a big old Razorback on my chest. And I got a couple of woo pigs. I got a couple of guys talking to me. I was like, and at the end of every conversation, it's like, guys, I just want to be respectful here. I hope you all lose every game. But, a lot of guys kind of laughed at it. One guy kind of got a little frustrated about it. But on the way out, of course, I'm walking with a bunch of Florida Gator fans. You hear this one dude go chomp chomp and walk off. And I said, ain't no chomp chomp over here, bucko. And he's like, well, who are you? And I was like, I'm a Razorback, bro. Last time you came to my stomping grounds, y'all got 20 piece. Get out of here. And, of course, Mr. Frat Boy kept on walking. And, yeah, my brother got mad at me that day because I kept on talking and wouldn't shut up about it. But, is what it is. Yeah, my dad raised me right is what I told a couple of people. I hate Texas.
Do you mind if I make a quick announcement here? I already made it on Twitter, but
absolutely.
Flight's at 7 a.m. on the way to Arkansas tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna be. I don't know if you guys remember Isaac Bracken, but I'm gonna be attending the games with him and his wife.
Nice.
And,
I think you referenced him a couple of times on our previous shows, didn't you?
Yeah, probably. I mean, he's I don't know what you guys thought about his career, but he's one of the biggest beauties and one of the funnest dudes to hang around. We'll probably be at he introduced me to the karaoke at JJ's on Wednesdays or something. So we'll probably be around there and all over Dixon and then in the Hawg Pen. But we got some good seats, I'll tell you that much. We got shout out Joyce Brown. I don't know if she's watching here, but she's a fan that I made good friends with her and her husband, and she's a season ticket holder, and she hooked me up with some tickets right behind home plate. So
awesome.
That's
awesome. Man, if we'd have known that, we'd have got you one of these shirts you could have wore sitting behind home plate there.
I'll get a sign or something.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
Yeah.
I don't know if me or Zach are gonna make it. I'm sure the A-State fan over there probably gonna not make it. It's about a 6-hour drive for him to make it to Fayetteville.
It's a good little haul. It's a good little haul.
It's like
for me.
3 hours for me and Zach, but I shout out SeatGeek. I haven't looked at the ticket prices yet. Use code, what is it, Zach? Inside the Hawg Pen.
$20 off your first SeatGeek order.
So hopefully we'll be able to find a way to get up to Fayetteville this weekend. Hopefully. That's all I can say is hopefully right now.
Hey, D, let's go to take another break real quick, and then we'll come back, and I want to get Chris' thoughts
on the board today.
On the softball team. You're listening to Inside the Hawg Pen. If technology works, we'll be back in just a second.
Mix Design is your one-stop shop for custom clothing with a personal touch. At Mix Design, we can help you tell your story through your wardrobe. Your imagination on a hat, shirt, pullover, or nearly anything wearable. And while you're picking out some custom clothing, check out the one-of-a-kind handmade soaps from the Bobcat Soap Company. Find us on Facebook and let us create custom swag just for you at Mix Design.
Hey, Hawg Fanatics! We at Inside The Hawg Pen are thrilled to announce that SeatGeek is now a sponsor. As brand ambassadors, we're excited to share SeatGeek as a ticket app that simplifies the ticket buying process for all your favorite events. They provide a 0 to 10 score for each ticket, with green indicating a good deal and red indicating a not-so-good deal. As a special offer, Hawg Fanatics can get $20 off their first ticket purchase by using the code INSIDEHOGPEN. Check out our socials for the link, and remember to use the code INSIDEHOGPEN.
Attention Razorback fans and local businesses. Are you ready to reach the most passionate Arkansas sports fans out there? Introducing Inside the Hawg Pen, not your normal Razorback talk show. We're fans first and don't try to hide it. No agendas, no propaganda. At Inside the Hawg Pen, we call it like we see it. And now we're looking for sponsors to join the team. This is your chance to put your brand in front of thousands of loyal Razorback fans who live and breathe Arkansas sports. From small businesses to major brands, we have sponsorship packages tailored just for you. So let's grow together and make Inside the Hawg Pen bigger and better. Don't miss out. Call 501-416-4331 or email us today at insidethehogpen@gmail.com and become a proud sponsor of Inside the Hawg Pen.
It's time to step back inside the Hawg Pen to the Mix Design Studios.
All right, welcome back to Inside the Hawg Pen. Razorback Zach, Marcus MC Carlton, Dylan D Madden, and of course the wise man joined this week by special guest, former Arkansas Razorback Chris Lanzilli. All right, so I gotta ask, is Arkansas cursed? Because I mean, well, I'm just gonna come out and ask it. Y'all know me. I'm just gonna come out and ask the question that's out there. Because you had the trip to Oklahoma City in your grasp, and you completely fall apart.
That was tough, man. That was, well, okay, so here's some more fuel for the curse, if you believe that. I mean, what are the chances that two of your top pitchers get food poisoning right before game one? I mean, that is.
If somebody wanted to post an AI photo, I bet you they would have gone to the Oklahoma City.
That's what it is. It's the curse of the AI photo. That's what it was, man. Oh that Queen of Hearts photo just took them down.
Have you heard about that? This AI photo?
I have, and I just want to mention that if you guys didn't watch every single women's and men's sporting event this year, then I don't want to have this conversation. I don't think we should be having this conversation.
Yes. Chris, are you trying to get us canceled?
I love it.
Lord.
That was awesome.
That was not planned. We did not prompt him on any of that. He come up with that all on his own.
Yeah.
So I hope not to get anybody in trouble here. I was just sitting back as a Arkansas fan myself, and I see people on Twitter saying stuff like that, and I'm like, bro, I don't watch half the events, and I consider myself like a good fan. Like, we can all root on each other. It's all good.
Okay, so
it's all good.
We'll tie that argument into the softball team. That was great. That was
awesome.
Time. Right down the middle. So you're trying to tell me that if I don't watch gymnastics, volleyball, golf, tennis, swimming and diving, equestrian, rugby, hockey, and all these other sports, I'm not a real fan?
It's a ridiculous argument. It's just people trying to, like, I don't know what exactly they're trying to do, but they're trying to, like, just act better than you in some sort of way. And it's like, it's kind of embarrassing to see a grown man or woman acting like that.
I'm just saying. But no,
I hate it that the Super Regional went down the way it did. You had all the hype. You had Bri Ellis, Player of the Year in the SEC, and now she's been named National Player of the Year. You had, Bogle looked like it was rocking, man. I mean, it sounded really good on TV. It looked good. I had a buddy that went to his first softball game ever at the Super Regional. And, he was like, man, this is a cool atmosphere. He's like, it's not bomb, but it's a pretty cool atmosphere. And he had a blast with it other than the fact that they got beat. He said that, basically that was the only thing that went wrong with the whole trip was that they got beat. And can we stop losing to that powder blue team from Oxford?
Hey, D, did you notice something?
Sounds weird.
Sounds weird coming from MC, his favorite team, and now he's all of a sudden dogging him.
Oh my God!
He's all of a sudden dogging him. I don't know what.
Look, that's the last time I praise any coaches from any school other than Arkansas. Okay, I like Lane Kiffin. I like Chris Beard. I don't like Mike Bianca. I don't like him.
In all honesty, when the losses to Ole Miss started to rack up, I thought MC's head was going to explode. I got immediately after that game, can we just stop losing to Ole Miss in damn near everything?
Yeah. Well, they embarrassed us in football, and then basketball was 0-2, and then that's who put us out at Hoover, and it's just like now they're gonna stop the women's best chance ever to go to Oklahoma City. I mean,
they lost to them in the series down
at Oxford.
I'm not supposed to know this, but they lost the regular season series to them.
Yeah.
Did you watch that series, Dylan?
Absolutely not.
Hey, Chris, being a former Razorback, I've got a super fan here that's been with us for 9 years. Her name is Casey Sutton. We deemed her ITHP royalty, but beyond that, she has gained notoriety, at least from us, for not beating cancer's ass once or twice or even 3 times. She did it 4 times. And she beat breast cancer 4 different times. So she's definitely up
there. That is a strong cookie. I've never even imagined taking on half that battle. That's the craziest thing I've ever heard. You must be one strong woman, and God bless you. That's amazing, and I appreciate the support of Arkansas. Hope they win a natty for you this year. That would be pretty special.
And when I tell you she's a Hawg fan, Chris, she's an even bigger Hawg fan than me, and I've been called the loudest mouth in the fan base. So
she's one of us that you would consider crazy, and that you would want. Dogging that left fielder. Yeah. She would fit that mold.
I'm pretty, my jaw's pretty dropped at that. Beating can't be.
Yeah.
That is
4 times.
I can't even think of what to say about that because that is ridiculous. And it's so impressive how strong you are.
So I'm going to say this, and I'm going to defend my position as to why I am with Arkansas the way that I bleed Razorback red. All right. I do. Unlike what Dylan thinks, I do. Although I don't watch all the sports because you can't watch them all.
You're not a fan, Zach.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm ashamed. I'm so ashamed. Man, I wish I could have seen that equestrian championship. I'm telling you, man. But
there's a nice podcast on the hockey Hogs. I don't know what they're called. Never mind. I'll shut up.
You don't even know what they're called. I just think it's like when I agree with people or when I disagree with people that are saying stuff like that, and then I tend to agree with I think it's called the burnerverse. I think it's a lot of frat guys that are tripping people like that.
That's exactly right.
When I start to agree with the burnerverse, that's when it's like, all right, things are out of hand right now. Let
me just shut my phone for a little bit.
Right. Go out and touch grass. Let me defend my stance here because it's not that Arkansas is bad. Obviously, they're hosting right now. My issue is they're too inconsistent. So my question is Dylan calls it a fickle sport. Dylan calls baseball a fickle sport. How much of that is your mental game and your mental toughness going into the regional? I mean, you've got the SEC tournament out of the way. You got regular season out of the way. Do you just kind of hit the reset button? Or is it all about, like we've all said here, getting hot at the right time and taking off at the right time?
Yeah. The reason I think it literally is, I mean, there's a million things to it, of course, and I don't have the answer. If I had the answer, if anybody had the answer, we wouldn't be in this situation. We'd have a couple natties under our belts. Anyways, that's why I think it's a big part of you just being at that top tier hot. Nobody else is going to be hotter than your team at the moment, and we're always talented enough. We've been there before. We've been there a few times before. I mean, just to get there means you're good enough to at least have a chance to win it, obviously. And I truly think it's just the hottest teams win, man. And it's unfortunate that we haven't been there. But think about when we do win, it's going to feel insane. It's not going to feel real because we've failed so many times.
Right. Yes. Yep. It will, man. I mean, it's gonna hit different because of what's happened in the previous years, and we don't have to recap it all because we all know what happened. But to go through all that and then still come out the other side, if it does happen, it's just gonna be like you said, man. It's gonna be like a dream. I mean, I'll be texting these guys like, hey, man, if I'm asleep, y'all don't wake me up. Just let me roll with it here.
Oh, if we win, dude, if we win it, oh, dude, I'm waking you up.
You won't have to wake me up. I mean, I may have enough adrenaline to run to Fayetteville from my corner of the state. So,
who's had a pretty similar experience in terms of their college baseball success, but no win is a team that I'm familiar with from the ACC is Florida State. So they had Mike Martin forever, and they had made like 40-something regionals in a row. They've made a similar amount of College World Series, but haven't won one. So at least we got somebody that's like, all right. Yeah. Arkansas is better every year, obviously, but somebody that's got a little bit of similar experience. But they also have a football natty within the past like 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
So
hey, Casey comes back and says, "Thank you, Chris. I hope I can meet you one day. Thanks, fellas, for all the kind words." Hey, Casey, that's what we're here for.
Yep, absolutely.
Casey, I hope I meet you at the regional if you don't mind, just coming up to me because I obviously can't see what you look like, or else I would come up to you. If it's okay, I'll buy you a beer or whatever. We'll figure things out. But come up to me and we'll figure things out.
That's awesome. So I gotta ask you this, and I know we're probably getting close on time, but I'm going to ask you: is Aloy? Do you think he's the Golden Spikes winner?
I think so. Now, again, I've not watched every college baseball game this year, but I can't think of anybody that's like. There's no Kevin Kopps this year,
right?
Eloy's had an unbelievable year. I want to say the balls aren't quite as juicy as they were in past years, so to do it without that is pretty impressive, and he's done it on offense, on defense, and on top of that, he seems like a good. I haven't met him. He seems like a great dude as well.
I think really he has humble. To be it. Yeah, he does. That's the thing that Dylan. I'm glad you brought that up because it's like you were in my head with that. He does. He comes across as really humble, and he and his brother both do. The interviews that I've seen with them.
Yeah, absolutely. They seem like great dudes.
It's like
I feel like
looking at some of the,
sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just gonna say, like looking at the list of some of the players on the Golden Spikes list, there's a lot of SEC players, and a lot of people have been talking about Liam Doyle. Is that his name?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
pitcher
from Tennessee.
From Tennessee. Absolutely got shellacked against Arkansas, and I know pitchers they're gonna have a game every year where they just don't have it. But how can you sit here and say that pitcher is better than the guy that absolutely took him to task, his whole team for 3 games, and then he wins the SEC Player of the Year. So I think Aloy's just got to beat everybody else in the nation and get. I don't think that's too far out of the question right now.
I would love to see him, come in here because the semifinalists were announced today, and then the finalists are going to be announced on June 4th, and then they start the fan voting, and then the winners announced June 21st. I would love to see him come into the postseason and just catch fire and just absolutely set everything ablaze, from the plate, because I think that would just put it over the top, because you know how these Arkansas fans, how we can be when it comes to like fan voting for stuff, man, we'll get in there and we'll wear it out, trying to get Aloy that Golden Spikes award.
Absolutely.
That's the way it's got to be. I mean, that's why we love playing for University of Arkansas. And also, he probably deserves it. I mean, nobody deserves it over him. I don't think the kid Doyle quite deserves it over like Dylan was saying. Like, kid dominated Tennessee that weekend. And how many runs did Doyle give up against Arkansas?
A bunch,
like 4 at least.
Yeah. I mean, for the kid's had a great year as well. I think Aloy's. I'm not going to pronounce his first name, so that doesn't make me a real fan. That makes me not a real fan, but
that's not a real fan. You're just not a real fan, man.
Yeah. We need to keep that joke rolling, but yeah, I think he's got it. He doesn't have it locked up. He's got it pretty good.
Yeah, I think it'd be great to see him.
He gave up 6 earned runs and 8 runs total. Lord.
Liam
Doyle. Yeah,
Liam Doyle.
Good Lord. Had 10 strikeouts. Had that going for him.
All right, as we're closing out here, let's go around the room and get some final thoughts. D, we'll start with you.
Oh, man. All right. Said it earlier. Tennessee's not coming out of their regional.
Wow.
I'm still sticking to my Taylon Green's going to be in the Heisman conversation for 7 weeks. Arkansas is going to have at least 7 wins.
Oh my God!
Arkansas is going to have at least 7 wins in football this year, and Hogs by 90.
Okay, wow. Seems like I've heard that somewhere before.
Okay, I'll give you the Hogs.
Wow, weird how that works.
Isn't it?
All right, MC. Final thoughts of the night.
Final thoughts of the night. I think Hogs come out and go 3-0 in the regional, take care of business. And then I have a very special shout out I have to send. Earlier today, they had the 2A state baseball championship after being rain delayed since Saturday. They finally got to play it today. Riverside Rebels took home the state title. Why is that worth mentioning? Because the head coach at Riverside, Ben Hoggard, was best friends with my brother in high school, probably spent as much time at my house growing up as he did at his own house. So Ben gets his state championship as a coach today. Shout out Ben Hoggard and the Riverside Rebels, man.
Chris, final thoughts before we get out of here.
Can I just take 2 minutes? I have a few things.
Absolutely.
Go for it, dude.
Bring it.
So I'm sitting here right now eating these things, these plyo nutrients. It's collagen. It's these gummies. It's supposed to be like a supplement, but it's so damn good. And I don't have any affiliation to this thing, so I just think these gummies are amazing. There's no other gummies on the market, I don't think. I was looking these things up because freaking collagen's disgusting. I just try to get it in. So this tastes really good. I'm almost out of them already. Look at the bottom of the thing. I've just been chewing them. I don't think you're supposed to be doing this. I gotta have to.
You be all hyped up before you even get to Fayetteville, man.
He's got to get all the good stuff in before he gets all the beers in this weekend.
There you go.
That's where I was headed to. So most importantly, Hogs by 100 this weekend. I'm gonna personally put my couple bucks on them, and that's gonna make it feel extra good when they win this regional. And I just want to see Dixon.
Yeah. Let's see Dixon get lit up, man. Let's light it up after the regional.
All right. Now it's my turn.
Oh, I have final thoughts.
Oh, we got Wise Man. Wise Man's in here. Wise Man, what you got?
First off, shout out to our equestrian team. I watched every game. Secondly,
those are called matches. Thank you very much.
You wouldn't know. You're not a real fan. How many did you see? Now,
very valid point.
Now, as well as I hope the Hogs do in the postseason, on a totally unrelated point, the Final Destination movies are pretty good. That's not related at all, but I'll leave that right there.
Did Loki have one of the special gummies? I mean,
did y'all? So kind of off topic. I'll keep it short. Did y'all see that in the Final Destination viewing?
Yeah,
a ceiling fell onto somebody.
Oh yeah.
Irony.
Yes,
that is irony at its best. No, I was look. I have never wanted to lose a bet more than seeing Arkansas get out of the regional, and I want to lose this bet. And I will look. I will hold true. If Arkansas gets out of the regional, and I'll say it with Chris right here, live in studio. If Arkansas gets out of the regional, or I live on air next week, we'll eat a Popeye's biscuit with Nutella, no drink.
Yeah.
I will do it live on air next week if Arkansas gets out of their regional. But I hope everybody had a great week, and everybody have a safe weekend if you're traveling up to Fayetteville. Chris, safe travels, my friend, up to Fayetteville. And last but not least, woo damn pig. I'm Razorback Zach for all of us here at Inside the Hawg Pen, including our special guest, Chris Lanzilli. Hope everybody has a great night. Until next time, by the way, do not miss Friday morning, 10 a.m., Inside the Hawg Pen live on the radio, 101.1 FM The Answer. And I want to hear from you, 501-823-0965. We'll get you live on air. I will be talking baseball, and I'll even be talking to Chris Goodman, general manager of the Hot Springs Wise Guys Arena Football Team.
We'll have another Chris, too.
And I will be joined once again by Chris Lanzilli to talk his final thoughts leading into the regionals of that night. All right, that's going to be it for all of us. So, until next time, so long, everybody.
Thanks for watching this episode of Inside the Hawg Pen. Listen anytime on your favorite podcast provider, and be sure to follow us on all our social network channels.